Good morning, happy Monday. It's almost 9 o'clock. I woke up about an hour ago and I've been very lazily in bed waking up, and now I'm just still like so tired. It's so gloomy out. It's raining. We love that for Southern California because we don't get a whole lot of rain, but it makes me just want to go back to sleep. It makes me want to get on the couch and read. So I'm just overall struggling. But I'm like starving and I just want to make a protein smoothie. Like that's the easiest. Like I don't have to cook or anything. So let's do that. Yeah. Riddle me this. Are you guys a thick smoothie person or a thin, like runny smoothie person? Because I need my smoothies to be thick. And I like it when I can even kind of taste the ice, like shavings, if you will. I just love it. Like I love that texture. I've been using Earth Chimp's organic vegan protein shake mix. I've talked about them before. You guys have probably seen them in my videos. Ever since I got my new blender like a few weeks ago, I've probably made like 8 to 10 protein shakes because it's just so easy and my favorite morning thing because I don't have like any dishes besides this to clean. Chef's kiss. And I like suck at getting protein sometimes and just all the nutrients and stuff our body needs, especially as just like someone that lives alone. So I love it. And I remember when I first saw this company, I was like, wait, this is so cool. Because it says we donate 10% of our packaging costs towards removing discarded plastics from our oceans. And I just remember thinking, like, this is a small business. Like, they're literally based in Ireland. And all, like, commissions count. All sales count. And so the fact that they're, like, already wanting to start off by giving back to the environment and the world, I'm like, you guys, like, that's so sweet. And so, yeah, I mentioned it's, like, organic, vegan. And then it's also plant-based. And I like on here because it says we're plant-based. So it gives our shake like texture, and that's a lot of the texture that I feel like people often complain about in protein powders. And I will say, when we did our first taste test together a while back, like guys, I have a second bag of this. It's been a while. I've used a lot, but I remember saying like I feel like I will like it even more when I have a blender that actually like blends my ice well. And that's true because I have the texture of the way I like my ice. Like, I do not taste that kind of texture at all. Yeah, like, it's, like, so faintly there, but it's, like, nothing. And I don't know if it's just the way I make it or what, but I love it. And I just love that company. And the packaging. Like, how freaking cute is that? Guys, they're on Amazon. Literally a giant package. Worth it. Worth it. I'm going to get kind of myself situated for the day. I don't know if I have to work today. For those that are like, how do you just not know if you have to work today? I work over the weekend to cover our telescope network. And so I have 2 days off during the work week. And I wasn't told last night what our schedule was going to be this week. And I work with a few of my coworkers on a contract that we essentially have morning and afternoon shifts that we take. And so I knew I wasn't going to be on a morning shift because like at 11 p.m. no one had told me that. But I was like, do I work like this afternoon or is today going to be one of my days off? Like I have no idea. So I'm just going to try to situate myself, probably get on my computer, check some stuff. But I would love to just have today off because it's such a gloomy day that I just want to like curl on the couch and read. So I'm going to drink this and I'll touch base with you later. Guys, it's like noon or something, but I just got the best 2 packages. Let me go get them and then I'll show you because I'm just so glad they're here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but actually on my coffee table, I have some vision boards. My friend came over yesterday and we pretty much actually just talked for most of the day and then finally got around to actually making the vision boards last night. So she's actually coming over to finish up hers like pretty much now. And I finished mine last night and I literally love how it turned out. So whenever she's like completed hers, I'll show you how they look. But hers is like turning out so good right now. So I'm excited to see kind of like her final touches and what she does to kind of pretty it up, if you will. But my packages. So the first one. Yes, I bought it from here. It was a choice that I made. But I bought Defend the Dawn. So I've talked about it in my 2024 reset, and I talked about it, I think, even a little bit in my last weekly reading vlog about my book buying ban plan for 2024. So this was a choice. I think that's an element of it, is like I bought Defy the Night like last year, and I read it. I loved it. I went to my library to read book 2. Another 4.75 star read. Literally loving this trilogy so much, and so I want to add this to my collection. So it's just kind of a choice that, like, obviously if you spend money on a book that you've already read but you love, like, that is money you couldn't spend on a new book that comes out this year, or a new book that you know may want to be influenced to read or something. So it was a choice, and I'm very glad, because I'm obsessed with this and I really needed this on my shelves that don't exist. Well, okay, I was just like staring at the stack of books that are right there. So that's one. The other, how do I like, it's Blackwell's. I mentioned that I did this, I think, in my last weekly reading vlog, but I pre-ordered Destroy the Day, the third book in the Defy the Night trilogy. What is this called? I don't know what this trilogy is called, but it's Defy the Night, Defend the Dawn, Destroy the Day. And it got here a day early. Like, the release is tomorrow. And I really wanted the paperback. Guys, this cost me $11.50 to ship this from the UK. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I ended the last weekly reading vlog saying that I was starting A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and I honestly expected to finish it by Tuesday. Then I didn't read at all on Saturday. I actually spent the day like watching YouTube videos that I hadn't been able to watch all week because my uncle was visiting, and then cleaning, a lot of cleaning, because my friend was coming and like my uncle had been here for the week, and so I was like, I need to actually clean. So I did that, and like I just didn't read a whole lot. I read for like an hour maybe yesterday, so I can give a little reading update to that later. But I was so conflicted. I thought this would come tomorrow, and I was like, oh well, I'll finish that book by then and I can immediately jump into this. Now what I don't know is if I just want to start this. My hair is really doing a thing, and I'm sorry, but she's stunning. The stunning conclusion, it's stunning. Literally right here, the stunning conclusion to the epic trilogy. This is the best day ever. The best day ever. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Oh, we need to brighten this up a little bit. Oh well. Today is my second day off during the work week, so I really had like a Saturday, Sunday time frame by having Monday and Tuesday off. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's off because I had training with our new hire last night and I had meetings today. So it doesn't really feel like I'm completely off, but nonetheless, I'm ready to get my day started outside of work. I don't know what time it is. 10:15. Okay. Still the morning. That's positive. I was so excited. I was packing my bag, and then I realized it's my first chance to actually use my new laptop case. It's from Anecdote. I've talked about their like notebooks and stuff before. Like I use it for my work planner and then like a mini to-do list. But they just came out with this laptop bag. Oh my god. I've like, when they reached out, because they're like, hey, like if we send this to you, you know, like, could you review it? And like, I think it's really just like reviewing on Amazon and stuff. Like they're not asking me to talk about it. But I was just like so excited because I was like, I've been needing one, like needing it. And I've just been one of those stupid things where like I won't spend my money on it and I don't know why. So dumb. I'm so happy. I want to go somewhere to work. It has been incredibly, well, work, like to read, to journal, to just do some like a little bit of laptop stuff. Like I just want to go somewhere. It's been so gloomy the last like 4 days, and today at least it's partly cloudy, but I see blue in the sky, so that makes me so happy. I'm looking at the temperature real quick. 57, high of 63. So I have a jacket I can throw on, but I just want to work outside my home. I feel like I've been definitely limited to my home over the last, oh my god, I need to show you my vision board. As I say, over the last few days, I've been trapped in my home. Okay, let me go get that and I'll show you. I am obsessed with her. Obsessed. Like, I'm sorry, what? This was so fun. This was my first time making like a true vision board, like physically. I've done them on like Pinterest and like just collages and all digital before, but never a physical one. And it was just so fun. Like her and I, we did it in like no rush. It took us a very long time, but I feel like it was just us because we were being girls and we were talking about nonsense, and it was just fun because we weren't in a rush to do it. And I feel like that's what made it so enjoyable. Let's see if I can get different close-ups for you guys. It's cute. I'm gonna put it in a frame of some sort to put it up on my wall. I just need to figure out what frame and kind of where I want to put it. But that was so fun. That was so fun. Okay, let's go somewhere to do work. And now I'm not focused. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
I just got home and I hung up some artwork. This is from my old place and I was like, this just doesn't work here. I don't know. But then when my friend came over, we were talking about how like the style of like home I want, and I'm trying to blend a Spanish style with like a California beach home. And she had mentioned like the black railing I have for all my curtain rods and how like that totally gives a Spanish vibe. And I also have all the black down here. And so for the longest time I was like, the frames I had for my old artwork like would not work. And then I realized it probably does. So these are the two pieces that I have from my old place. I got them both from Etsy, and why is this like, guys, I don't know, that's so weird to me. It's like tilting my camera. I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm straight and it was like tilting it. Okay, anyways, these are the two pieces. I'll try to move so you can like kind of see them a little better, but I just printed them from Etsy and then like did all the framing stuff myself. Love that. And then I went ahead and put up my vision board here for now. So I want to get it framed, but I got these magnets. I kind of forgot that I ordered them yesterday or something from Amazon, and it had like a set of different colors, but I put command strips on the back of the magnets because they're like for fridges and stuff. But I love this. I love it, and I'll frame it probably eventually, but I also kind of love how that looks, so maybe I'll end up keeping that. And then the last thing that I put up, oh my gosh. Hold on guys. So this is the frame that I got from the thrift store. And then I ended up getting this print like last year, 2 years ago, and I just like could never get myself to frame it, and it was so dumb. But it's obviously from Pride and Prejudice. Oh my god, 2005, Keira Knightley, yes. So I love this, and so I just added it here, and it's kind of quirky. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. Like, I'm gonna end up adding more photos and stuff into this corner, but I love that they're kind of different, and I'll try to just go off of all these different brown tones here. And I just feel happy like putting up this different like work and stuff on my walls like I've been needing to, and I just have the mirror left, like that oval mirror I think that I showed at the end of my last weekly reading vlog. So I don't know where I want to put it still, so I gotta figure that out. Let me go grab my current read. I was going to start Destroy the Day, but I couldn't bring myself to do it when I had technically started A Heart So Fierce and Lonely, so I'm determined to finish that book first. Even though I was only like 32 pages in, I couldn't bring myself to like put it on hold, and then I don't know guys, it's just like the way my brain works. Okay, let me set you guys up and then I'll give you guys a little update into that book so far. Okay, we're back. So, first 100 pages of this. I have really enjoyed it. Like, I'm not obsessing, and I'm not like, you know, giggling and like, oh my god, I need to figure out like how this, you know, continues and what happens next. I'm not obsessing, but I'm enjoying it. And what I'm enjoying is the fact that it takes off right where the last one ended. And in book 1, we got 2 POVs from our main male character and our main female character, Harper and Rin. And then in this book so far, we've continued to get Harper's POV, but we're now getting an additional like 2 different characters' POVs. And so they're all different because they're like different parts of the story. Kind of like how I was talking about Defend the Dawn, where you got this additional 3rd POV occasionally and it took you back to a different part of the world. It's like the same timeline, like present time, but it's just like, you know, 2 people doing 2 different things in 2 parts of the country. And like you're following both of those paths. And so that's kind of like this. And that's where this is heading so far. I've enjoyed it. It literally ended though. I'm now on chapter 10. Chapter 9 ended and I was just like so annoyed. Like so annoyed. And so I'm like, I just had to close it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave Starbucks now. Like it's a thing that just like irked me. And I think I don't have the same connection, not even like relatability to the characters in any way, but it's like I'm not like obsessed with these characters. And that happened with book 1, where I'm like, this is just so intriguing to me that I have to see this through. And so I'm curious to see how much I will like this one as I continue reading it, because right now a character did something that just like upset me, like annoyed me, because there'll be things that like the main female or male character will do and like in a book in general, and I'll be like annoyed with it. I'll be like, oh, like why did you do that? But I'm like, I kind of like I get why they're doing it, but it's still frustrating, you know. This I'm just like, for what? Like for what? And so that's what I'm like, I don't love that. So I'm definitely interested to see if this gets like better. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving. You know, there's a difference. I feel like reader pops get it. I mentioned it. I was gonna start Destroy the Day, but then I couldn't bring myself, even though I was only 32 pages into this before I picked it up today. I was like, I can't just put it down. I think my brain is too linear. So, especially when I'm like, I would be reading 2 Brigid books and 2 different trilogies that are both like fantasy romance-esque, that I'm like, I just think it'd mess with me too much. So I'm going to finish this first, and then I'm going to dive into Destroy the Day. I would love to get through, like, I don't know, a majority of this today. I don't think I'll be able to finish it because I'm just not, like, obsessing over it, so I feel like I'm just not going to, like, want to binge read this. But I hope to get through a majority of it today. I'm probably going to do a little bit more reading. I probably should if I want to get through this book. I'm telling you, something that's aggravating me is this always comes down. Tell me how to fix that. I heard if I use nail glue on like the back of my neck and stick it to it, that it'll stay. But I'm like, I shouldn't be putting that on my neck every day. Okay, I'm gonna read and I'll check in with you guys probably after my appointment when I'm back, and I can give any reading update I may or may not have, and then we'll just kind of do a little check-in. Okay, it's much later now. It's probably like 4:30 or something. I'm actually cooking dinner because I didn't really have lunch today. So early dinner it is. I literally got back from my appointment at like 3:20. Like I showed up early, got in, out, back home. It was great. And now I'm just cooking dinner. After that, I'll probably just do a little bit of reading for the evening. So I'll update you if I have something worth your time. Otherwise, I'll just see you tomorrow. But this day is exactly kind of what I needed. Like a day of no responsibilities. Like I didn't have work, no plans with anyone. It's just like chill, whatever I needed it to be. So I will check in with you guys later, but that's my update. Okay. I feel like I am just too close to you guys. Back up a little. This is better. It's like 10:30. Hi, happy Wednesday. I've been working all morning, but I did finish A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Also, guys, update on my burns. I showered last night, and I had like a burn here. You can still kind of see like a red circle. One here and one here. This broke skin. So that grease splatter yesterday, yeah. So I put Neosporin on it. We're working through it. It's fine. It's just like, what the heck? Like that is just so random to me. Anyways, reading update. So I finished this actually this morning, and I'm giving it 3.5 stars. So I gave book 1, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, 4 stars, and the way I kind of talked about that book was like, it was just so intriguing to me to the point that like I couldn't put it down and I had to see it through, but like I wasn't obsessing over it. Like I wasn't like super excited per se, but like the plot, the romance, the confusion, I had to see it through. But then I ultimately gave it 4 stars. That book, I went into it thinking it's a fantasy romance, I'm getting like 50-50. That wasn't the case. This is the same thing. I think if I would have went into this book thinking that it was a fantasy story, but there was a very tiny subplot of romance and a lot of like found family, I would have enjoyed the first half so much more. I think about the halfway point, I started kind of seeing that, and I was like, okay, I feel like I need to shift my mindset. And when I did that, I like really enjoyed the rest of the story. So it ultimately gets 3.5 stars just because my overall like reading experience is 3.5 stars. But I think it could have been a 4 or 4.5 or something. Like, not 4.5 sounds very high, but like even a 4 star if I would have went into this with a different mindset. Overall, I enjoyed it. I talked about how it takes off right where book 1 ended. I like that part of it. And I love the different POVs we got here. Like, I love all the side characters that we had from book 1 and then, you know, got introduced to more in book 2 and new ones in book 2. I love it. Like, Brigid Kemmerer writes her side characters so strongly. Like, I just adore them. They're more than just side characters. And I am very interested to see how this trilogy ends. I love that she doesn't end her books on like, well, I shouldn't say that because Defend the Dawn, that trilogy, book 2 ended where I'm like, you're joking, I need book 3 now. But Defy the Night ended in a way that I'm like, okay, I'm not like upset until I read the next book. I'm like, wow, this ended so well, I can't wait to read the next book, but like, I'm okay. That's how this has been with book 1 and 2. I'm like, okay, I definitely like want to see this through. I want to read the next book, but I'm not like having it end where like I'm frustrated because I don't have the next book. Does that make sense? And that's a good thing to me. I kind of like that. So to each their own, maybe that's not something you would want. But I like how she ends her books heading into the next one, except Defend the Dawn. Oh my god, that ended and I was like, I need book 3. But yes, okay, that is my reading update here. And then today I hope to start Defy, Destroy the Day. Defy, Defend, all the things. Destroy the Day, book 3 in that trilogy. I don't know what that trilogy's called. Huh, I just realized that. Like, I finally learned that this is the Cursebreaker trilogy. Also, I was so conflicted on a situation here. Like, ultimately, I'm in support and I get it. But I was just like, these 2 characters, I would have really enjoyed seeing them a little more. And I don't think I'm going to get that. And that's okay. I get it. I get the situation here. That's all I'll say. That's my reading update. Today I have a full shift. So I've worked this morning. I was going to go into the office today until I freaking grease burned my face. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to put on makeup. Don't want to deal with any of that. I just want to put like Neosporin on my face and let it chill. So I think I'll go into my office tomorrow. I am so sad that I didn't run my dishwasher last night or this morning. Oh my god, because it has my cup that I use for the blender in it, and now I can't have my peanut butter banana chocolate smoothie. I mean, I could wash it by hand. I'm being dramatic. I should probably do that because it sounds so good. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, it is much later now. Well, is it? I think it's been like 4 hours or something. As we know, I'm trying to be better about water. I put my liquid IV in this thing, and now I'm like drinking water so much. I don't think I had water yesterday. This is just tasting so good. But I had such a productive, like, personal few hours. Work has been so chill today, which I greatly appreciate. It's been a lot of like waiting for data to load and waiting for a scope to break so I could fix it. I've had like a few questions back and forth with like my coworkers and stuff. I'm like, oh hey JC, beep boop bop, and I go do something, give them an answer. But like it's been so chill today. And so that's been good for me because I was thinking a lot about my YouTube channel today, and I was like just plopped here on the couch watching, catching up on a lot of videos I'm behind on still. And it just had me thinking about the kind of second video that I would like to occasionally be posting. So we know that like weekly reading vlogs are my favorite. Like I think you're pretty much guaranteed to get that as the main video once a week. But then I want to be filming other videos to occasionally post a second video in a week. So I was trying to think of like what video I would like to kind of prioritize filming next. And like obviously the 24 or 48 hour readathons are like so easy to do because you're really just figuring out like the time that you can do it. And really there's so many different ways people do that challenge, so it's even easier to plan. So obviously that was in my head like as an easy option. But then I know that there are certain videos that people are wanting, and I'm like, okay, I'd like to film those too. So I put up a poll on my channel, like on my community tab, I think towards the beginning of the year, and I asked like, what is the next read and watch series video that you want? And I gave like 4 options. Of course, I knew it was going to happen, but Harry Potter Part 2 won, and I was like, yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me like, where's Part 2? When is it coming? My own mom has asked me twice, and I'm like, Mom, it's coming. So then it made me have to think about like really what does it take to film that video. And so I wanted to write out like using my Notion pages of like my planning my videos page on there. So I wrote out the last 3 books that I have to read and like how many pages they were. I looked at the audiobook to see like how long is the audiobook, so I could kind of gauge how long it would take me to read the book. And then obviously like watching the movies. It's going to take me like 2 weeks pretty much if I wanted to realistically only be reading those for X amount of time. It was going to take me like pretty much 2 weeks to film that video. And I was like, okay, so when you see this ultimately, keep that in the back of your noggin. 2 weeks minimum to film, to watch, you know, all the things. Read, watch, and have to film the whole process. So there's that. And so then it had me thinking like, well, I could probably film a couple kind of secondary videos while doing that. So I also looked into the Hunger Games. I was like, okay, there's only 3 books. They're all much shorter. So how long would it take me to, you know, read all 3 of those books and then watch those 4 movies? And it was like 1 week. And I was like, okay, so maybe I could do that one first. Like, prioritize, I just like kind of knock that out, if you will, or kind of doing them in tandem and see which one, you know, I end up getting to first and finishing first. So I planned all that out, and then I've seen a lot of people do the like finishing series I'm in the middle of videos, and I had already like wanted to be doing that this year, and so I had written out already all the series that I'm in the middle of. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I had kind of broke out like 4 or 5 parts that I could do for that series, and like what, you know, series I could finish in that. Basically averaging about 4 to 5 books in each of those videos. And that's really going to help me because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a reader that like I want to be reading like 5 books at one time. So it's really hard for me to just like choose one. And like oftentimes I will like read 2 books at the same time depending on what they are. Most of the time it's like, oh, a romance and like a fantasy, a romance and not a romance. Something that's just like a different genre, and so it's nice to kind of mix it up. But I would say probably 75-80% of the time I'm just reading 1 book at a time, just like I'm focused on the one. But I just struggle to where there's so many books I'm in the middle of, there's so many books I want to read at one time, so it's like I'm guaranteed to be like thinking about 3 books I want to read in that single moment 100% of the time, but most of the time it's like 5 books. So it's a hard life, and I figured that that video series would really help me finish some books that I'm wanting to finish. So I kind of planned out which ones that I could do and what then I would be, oh my god. Excuse me. Bless me? Yeah. Okay. So I was just planning a lot of that stuff, and that was nice to get out of my head and kind of think, okay, now you kind of have a plan of what it would take to film these certain videos. Now kind of just choose which one you think you want to do first. And then I didn't do any grocery shopping this past weekend because I was like, well, first of all, like, I feel like I don't really know what I want. Second, I was like, I have stuff already here. So I'm going to see what I have here, and then I can go to the grocery store if I need to. But it made me think, like, I have trash day today, and I need to go through my fridge and, like, clear everything out and throw it in a trash bin to take out today, tonight, whatever. So I did all that, and it just feels good to, like, clean my fridge and, like, get out all the stuff that's not always, like, necessarily expired, but it's just, like, it's going bad. I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna use it. I can't eat or use it. So, I don't know, it's like things like that make me so happy. And so, oh, and I dusted the top of my TV stand. Girl, that needed it. The light was coming in full force and really highlighting all that. So yeah, it just was a good, productive few hours for me. I did journal as well. That's always nice. I love that I do that. I like try to prioritize doing that every day. Sometimes I try to do it at night, and then I get stuck where, like, by the time I go to bed, I'm, like, exhausted, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even realize till the next day that I didn't write anything down. So I'm trying to be better. It's like when I'm just in the mood to journal, and if I'm home, like, I can do it in the morning, I can do it in the middle of the day, doesn't matter. So that is that. I have been having this next to me all day. Haven't picked it up. My brain is so weird. Like, I want to read this, and I will read it. And I'll probably, like, start it today. It's just I've been watching YouTube videos and catching up on a million things that I'm behind on. And obviously working. Like, yeah. Okay, that is just my update. I love talking to a camera so much. I don't know how these vlogs don't end up to be 2 hours long if I'm being honest, but happy Wednesday. Good morning, happy Thursday. It's like 8:30 or something. I have some reading updates. So last night I did go ahead and I started Destroy the Day. I got about 30 pages in. I'm on chapter 3. I was liking it, but the type of reading mood I was in and like where my brain was willing to focus wasn't on a book I could only physically read. I needed an audiobook alongside to kind of just help me focus. I was like in a reading mood, but like I don't know how to explain it, okay? So I had to put it down, but it's not because I wasn't liking it. It was just like my brain refused to focus. So I started the last book in the Cursebreaker trilogy, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. I was listening, obviously, then to the audiobook alongside, and I got to page 127. I'm on chapter 15. So, like I said, last book in the trilogy. There's a little more romance in this one, so I love. I talked about the last one. I probably would have rated it higher if I went into it thinking that it was more fantasy with like found family and plot driven, not necessarily like a 50-50 split of a fantasy romance. So that was that. Heading into this, like that was the mindset I had. And I still got a little more like romancy moments that I feel like I was loving because it's not the forefront of it. You know what I mean? Like it was just like this, oh, that's an appreciation moment. So that is where I'm at right now. And I've liked this. I like where it's going. It obviously is taking off right where the last one ended. You know the plot of the second one, then like it would only make sense for it to start where the last one ended. But I'm excited for this to finish. Like I'm a little sad because the characters, you know, like I'll be out of the characters. But overall, I'm very excited to just kind of like have a series that I've started and finished. And Brigid Kemmerer, I love her writing. I just love her storytelling. So I'm excited to finish this. Okay, guys, why did no one remind me that when I used to make my peanut butter banana chocolate protein shake stuff, I would always like slice up the bananas and put them in the freezer. And that helped me get the thicker consistency that I like in smoothies. I don't know why it hit me last night that I was like, wait, you don't do that. And that's why they've, like, it's been hard for me to get them thicker. So I put my last 2 bananas in the freezer last night. Like, I put them in little, like, baggy things. So I was just like, girl, use your head. So I'm very excited because I did the dishes last night. So I'm going to make a smoothie. It's just my favorite. Like those protein smoothies, just like, oh my gosh. Well, it's looking awfully red this morning. That's the spot that the grease thing happened and it like broke skin. Been putting Neosporin on it nonstop, but okay. Anyways. The thickness. Like, guys, I'm moving it and it like hardly moves, if any. Oh my god, I feel so much better that I remembered how the frick I used to make my smoothies. Okay. I am gonna get ready for the day in some way, shape, or form, at least start the process. I think I want to go into my office today. It's also very gloomy, so that sucks. But I just want to see if I can like cover this up in some way and go. So that's what we're gonna do. I just got ready. I need to go get my glasses to help cover this guy. Just has to be wide out in the open for everyone. But I am going to head to the office. I'll see you guys when I get home. I hope to only be there for a few hours. I don't want to work until like 5 p.m. there, but I still at least want to go in. I haven't been in a hot minute, so I'll touch base with you guys later. Okay, I'm back for the day. It's currently 4:30, and it was such a like productive work day. I was very happy to go into the office today because I definitely need it at times, like to just get certain things done. It's going to be way more productive when I have like multiple screens. I would love to ultimately have a 2-bedroom place where I can actually like set up a true office with dual monitors. Like that would be clutch. So until then, it is nice going into the office. So I work 3 days during the work week. And I think, you know, like moving forward, I'd like to be in the office those 3 days. It's been a little hard last couple weeks, like when my uncle was here. Obviously I just wanted to do the minimal work that I had to do, and then like him and I could go do stuff. So that was that last week. And then this week, Monday, Tuesday, I was off. And then yesterday, this guy, it doesn't look that bad far away. It just looks like a pimple probably, but up close it's healing. So I just like didn't want to do anything yesterday with it. And so now today I was like, okay girl, suck it up, wear some glasses, cover it up a little, you know. And I did, and it was successful. But it was just nice to get some stuff done and like feel good and feel productive on non like things just that aren't required of me, and getting back on top of it. I work with people that often, you know, like look to me for like direction. I'm not their like advisor or anything, but it's just like we do the same work, and I feel like I haven't been on my game with it. So it was nice to like kind of get back into that and help kind of sharpen some things back up, go over stuff in more detail, pay attention. I feel like we probably all experienced that in different lines of work. So that felt good. And then today was National like Fish Taco Day or something, and my company treated us to fish tacos. And well, they treat us to a place called like Baja Tacos, I think that's what it's called. And I ended up getting shrimp tacos, and they were divine. They were divine. And so that was that. That was it. That was all. I mean, I caught up with a couple coworkers. It's cool to have people around. And now I'm back home. I called my mom when I was walking home, and we talked for like 30 minutes, and it was great. Girls being girls, just girl things. Now I think I want to see any YouTube videos that may have came on today. I was talking with my friend, my coworker. She said that she was like reading ACOTAR. I remember that she was reading ACOTAR, and she made it to ACOWAR. That's the book I need to read. I kind of really want to read it. So I'm struggling. I kind of just want to binge read also. So it's like I want to put some YouTube on. I want to see what sports are on or something, but I want to read. I want to finish Avowso something and Boldly. I don't remember. Whatever the third book in the Cursebreakers trilogy is that I'm currently on and started last night, I think I could finish it tonight, and so I really want to. And then I think I may want to read ACOWAR next, or binge what is her name? Brigid Kemmerer's like another, I think it's the first book in another series she's starting, but there's only one book out. I just can't read what it is that far away, but hold on. I also have the audiobook out on Libby. It's Forging Silver into Stars. And so that's a library book that I have that someone else like already has checked out after me, so I can't renew it. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I could binge the 3rd book in a curse, whatever the heck, the Cursebreaker trilogy, and then binge The Forging Silver and Stars, and then read Act of War. Like, I really think I could do that because I really want to read this week and I have no plans right now, which sounds amazing. And I'm thinking I could just sit and read. Like, I have some work to do, but it's like I have no plans to be anywhere else. Like, I can easily listen to my audiobook while doing computer work. I can then, like, take breaks and physically read. So, that's where I'm at. Which, that actually was going to be a part of finishing series I'm in the middle of. So, maybe I could just finish Act of War and then continue on with that series and finish that. And that could be the video, like that bonus video that I'm filming. So, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to film me reading Act of War and some type of reading vlog. And so I think it'll be for that finishing series I'm in the middle of. And I just didn't plan on that. I planned to do the read and watch series. But I don't know, something about my friend talking about it, I'm like, I really want to read that now. So that's where I'm at. I'm just so easily influenced by friends and strangers, if I'm being honest. Like, people on the internet that I don't know well, they're like, oh my god, I love that book. And I'm like, okay, I'll read it. Like, I literally got one comment on my channel about, oh god, hold on, I have to find this because I need you guys to probably read it. I haven't read it yet. So, obviously, can't, like, fully recommend it, but Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte talked about it as well after I saw this comment. Well, I don't know if she really fully suggested it to me, but she just told me what she had just finished, and I was like, okay, I feel like I need to check that out. It's When the Moon Hatched, and I feel like I need it. And then, like I mentioned, Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte had mentioned that, and that she was reading it, and I was like, this is my sign. So I'm just so easily influenced by people I do and don't know. Like, all it took was her comment. I was like, add to cart. I mean, I added it to my list. How do I, like, just talk to a camera, like, all the freaking time? 6.5 minute clip. For what? What could I possibly be saying that's worthy of 6.5 minutes? I don't know. But I changed into sweatpants. I feel good. I have a clean blanket that I just watched yesterday. This thing is so, like, soft and smells good. And yeah, I just want to read. So that's what I think I'm going to do for the rest of the night. I may update you guys later, but if not, I will see you tomorrow. Where did my book go? Oh, got it. Okay, happy Friday. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's about like 9:40, 9:45. And I think I do want to head to my office for a few hours today. I don't plan on working like a full day because I have training to do tonight. So it's like I don't want to work like an 8-hour day and then have to do more training at night and then work an 11-hour day. Like, that wouldn't feel great. But I finished A Vow So Bold and Deadly last night. Let me pull up my review because I feel like I encompassed all the thoughts that I had in a very nice order. So I've been really good about posting reviews on Goodreads, and I love that I'm doing that because it makes my life so much easier. Okay, wow, past JC last night slayed her review. I think I always have my Goodreads linked down below, so if you're curious about like real-time reviews, real-time ratings, all that, I think it is linked down below. I wish I could just read this word for word because that was so good. But that would just be like, you can go read that. So, okay, the final book in Cursebreakers trilogy. I'm giving this book 4 stars. I talk about how the first one, I was like so just intrigued by what I was supposed to be getting out of this book. Like, not in a bad way, but I'm like, okay, is this fantasy? Is this romance? But it's literally a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I'm like, okay, it's romance. But I just like didn't know who I was like rooting for as, you know, heroes and villains and friendships and romance. And I was like, what do I want? Like, what's happening? And that alone made it such a bingeable read for me. And then heading into book 2, so the first one I gave 4 stars, the second one I gave 3.5 because I was like, this is a fantasy romance. I'm expecting like 50-50. and I didn't get that. It was a very, very tiny, even in the first book really, but like it's a very tiny plot of romance, and then really it's just this fantasy story with like found family and like friendship. And once I went into that mindset, like halfway through book 2, I loved it. I really enjoyed it, and like I felt like I appreciated so much more of it. And that is the mindset I had heading into this book. Now this book we did get a bit more romance, which always just makes me a little giddy. It is definitely like a bittersweet feeling to have this world be done, these characters be done, but a trilogy was the perfect length for this. Like I don't think more books like should be made for this, and like I think less books also could have made things rushed. So I like the length of this trilogy and the story that was told and like how the plot developed. I feel like trilogy made sense. Overall, I loved the continuation of book 2 into book 3. It again like started right where the last one ended. The plot made sense, and I liked that Brigid Kemmerer, the author, she changed the POVs from book 1 to book 2 to book 3 to best adapt the different like plot lines going on, so you could gain like the most of everything happening. And I feel like often in different like fantasy series, trilogies, whatever, you just get like 2 POVs of like your main male and female character, and like that's just it, and you're having to learn all the side characters like through a different POV and not like their own. And I like that was changed here. I'm like, really, who's the main character here, you know, like they just change over time, and I love that. I loved getting the different POVs, and it just made sense with how the plot progressed throughout the trilogy. I will say though that a weird thing for me in this book, or just like a strange feeling, is never really like shipping or rooting for the couples discussed in this trilogy. Like I had my own kind of thoughts and opinions on what I wanted to see, and that was, you know, beyond romance and couples. It was also just like friendships and alliances and all that. But none of it that didn't happen made me upset with the book. Like I understood probably like why Brigid had the way that she did, and like who kind of had those friendships with people, who developed those romance relationships with people, who formed alliances, all of that. I can make sense of it in my head, but it's not like something that I was like rooting for. So like that was a bit of an unsatisfying piece to me, but again, not enough for me to dislike it. Overall, like it's a 4-star trilogy to me, and I like definitely recommend it. And then also there's like just like a couple loose ends at the very end of this, and I'm like, wait, but like what's gonna happen with some of these pieces, you know, like, but again, it wasn't enough for me to be like upset with it, because I can see how this like will continue on, you know, behind the scenes, how this world will continue. Like I get it. It's just like a couple things I feel like we're all of a sudden like we're done, and I'm like, wait, what? So there's like that element of it, and that's kind of what makes it a 4-star trilogy and not like a 5-star, even 4.5, 4.25, like 4 stars. I had fun with this. It was an enjoyable trilogy to read. It's just, it had a couple missing pieces that I'm like, okay, read it for a good time. How do you describe more than the first book without like giving away stuff from the first book? So maybe that's hard for me, and maybe it's hard for you guys, but hopefully just me talking about it would help you gauge whether or not you would like this trilogy. I definitely recommend it if you like Brigid Kemmerer's writing, because I just love her writing. I was like, I'm gonna read your story. That was pretty much my review. Nailed it. So there's that. I want to start this today. It's Forging Silver into Stars. It's Brigid Kemmerer's, I think it's a new series, the first book in a series, and like it's only this one that's out right now. Sorry, I'm just like excited. So I want to read this. I have 3 days left of the audiobook on Libby, and so I just want to take care of this guy. I'm again still in the mood of like listening alongside reading. I'm gonna get to Destroy the Day, I promise. I don't not want to. Like, I want to read it. My brain just refuses to focus on something that doesn't have an audio alongside to help me zone in. So, hope to start this. I will be starting this today. I don't hope to. I will be starting this today. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready for work, head into the office for a few hours. I'm hoping to leave no later than 1 is my goal, and I can come back, chill for a little bit, read for a little bit, and then do a little bit of training tonight and maybe read some more.
Hey darling, can Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
Just got ready for the day, literally just threw on the most like basic outfit to get me through the day for a few hours. I'm gonna listen to a YouTube video on my walk over, and then I'll see you when I get home. I just got back home. It's currently 1:45, so I was actually like walking out around 1, and then I stopped by my coworker's office. I can just get to talking sometimes. I don't know what it is, but I went and checked my mail, and I recently bought a new vacuum. Love that for me. I don't know, vacuums are just one of those things that like is an adult household item that kind of sucks to purchase, and you don't want to get the cheapest one because otherwise you're just going to have to buy another one in a couple months. So it's just like spending money I didn't love to spend. I didn't get like a crazy one by any means, but it was like $85 maybe, $90, and I'm like, well, that sucks. Okay, but from that purchase, it says a free gift card, get your Amazon gift card. So I can write a product review, send them the review, and then I think I can get a $30 gift card from Amazon. I'm gonna do that because I do love that vacuum a lot more than my other one. What is this? Oh, I think it's about organization. Okay. Then I got one from Celadon Books. Very curious about this. Like, it's just an envelope, and I'm like, what could this be? Maybe it's like a newsletter or something. I have no idea. Oh, that's adorable. This is so cool. They sent separately. So remember, I got the Fury back at like the beginning of the year. They sent it, like I came back on December 31st, I think, and I ended up getting this as like an ARC, and I had no idea. Like, it was not something I requested. I wouldn't have known how to request it. And I was definitely jealous of everyone that did get it. So it's just so cool. It came out this month, and they sent me the playbill. I've seen other people do this, so they probably sent it separately. Okay, I want to look at this more. And then what's this last one? Probably trying to get me to get a credit card. That was my mail, in case you're curious. I had such a good day at work, but our Teams was down. Like, Microsoft Teams is what my company uses, and it's still down. And I just felt like I was in shambles because I couldn't use like my normal means of communication. Luckily, I have a couple like cell phone numbers of my coworkers, and we've used like Skype before on other stuff. So like, I had ways to talk to them when I needed to, but it just wasn't as easy. I was like, is this really important enough to like send another way, or should I just like hold on to this? Like, I didn't like it. Okay, I'm going to look into this like gift card situation, and I'll check in with you whenever I'm like kind of settled and like changed and stuff. But blue skies today. It's like a high of 70. I walked home and I was like, I love this. I was warm. It was lovely. Okay, I'm going to talk with you later. It's currently like 3:20, 3:30, something like that. I went ahead and I showered. I did not brush my hair or anything. We're just gonna let Mother Nature take its course. And I put on a comfy outfit, grab my blanket. I have my book, and I'm gonna get to reading. I have so many videos on my YouTube watch later, so I just wanna like throw some on in the background. Like, all these bookish ones I feel like will just be like a good like background thing. I'm someone that like, I like having sounds on. There's no sports on right now, so not much I can do there, but figured background noise like this would be perfect. So let's get to reading. I'm gonna cry. No one told me. No one told me. Is this a second trilogy to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, to the Cursebreaker trilogy? Still Shallow, Amberfall. These are two places from that trilogy. 4 Royals. Maybe I should have read the back. I just saw a new series from her, so I was like, I'll pick one in the Forging Silver into Stars series. And I'm like, okay. 4 royals, 2 thrones, 1 deadly curse. Return to Emberfall and Still Shallow in the New York Times bestselling Cursebreakers series. What is this about? What? Okay, so at least just like skimming through this, I'm sure our characters from the other one like pop up. There's one name I recognize and he was a small side character, but other than that, like I don't recognize our main characters from the others. So was no one gonna tell me? Okay, I'm excited. I'm just like, I was nervous because like I don't think I wanted more of the other characters because of how conflicted I was about like where things stood with who, like how relationships worked out between all the characters. I wasn't like loving, so I was just like nervous I was gonna get more of that and have to be more conflicted. I don't think that's what I'm gonna get here. Okay, I'm fine. I was just like, I just saw Still Shallow and Emberfall and I was like, I'm sorry, what? We're good. I'm gonna actually start reading now. Good morning, happy Saturday. It's currently about 10:15. I got up today around 8:30 and for me that was sleeping in. I just like woke up on my own and then I did some initial work stuff, checking on some things, but then I got ready and I actually like love my outfit today. I'm gonna have to show you whenever we get back. I'll like show you in the mirror in there, but I want to head over to Target and get a couple items like grocery wise because I didn't do any grocery shopping this past week because I just had stuff here that was like just eat what you have and then you can always go to the store if you need to. So I think today I just want to get a couple things and then tomorrow we'll go like grocery shopping. Like I'll plan out kind of what I want to be eating this week. That's mainly on my agenda. So let's go get a little bit of groceries. Okay, I'm actually kind of hot, which is great. I feel like maybe going by the pool today, that could be really fun. It's like highs of like mid-high like 70s today and tomorrow, so I definitely want to sit outside for a bit. But groceries, I just got a couple things. I was really actually craving, so I have stuff for sandwiches, which is great, like meat, cheese, all that. But I really wanted French toast, so that's why I got this kind of thicker bread, and then it's also the same bread I really like for sandwiches. Guys, this stuff is so random. I got more bananas. Just, we know, for my smoothies. I really wanted chocolate milk last night, and it upsetted me that I didn't have any more Hershey's syrup, so I bought that. I needed more cookies. This brand is like my favorite as far as like dough to buy. Is it gonna focus on? Yeah. So I love this one. It also has like so much, like it's healthier, you know, as healthy as cookies can be. But it's like plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, peanut/tree nut-free. Okay, and then I did get some more like cotton rounds. So I use reusable cotton rounds for like when I'm removing makeup kind of like from my face. But I love these for my mascara. I just feel like they get it better. I don't know how to explain it. And then I think it's just these 2 items. Okay, so guys, Target one. Look at this pajama set. It's like the prettiest blue, and it's just like the short sleeve with these shorts, and it's so soft, like stupid soft. I wish I wore pajama sets more to bed. I only have like 2. And every time like I do, like I just feel put together like when I wake up in the morning and stuff. So they were $22. It happened. Okay, Target one. And this is the thing that I was like, girl, why'd you do this? But like I'm so happy with it. We know that I love these shorts from them. They're like these like boxer type shorts. But look at this pattern. Like, are you joking? Okay, I'm gonna figure out what I need to do next. I think I have a couple work things to do, and then I need to figure out like eating something because I'm definitely hungry. So we'll figure that out. Okay, I just threw on a t-shirt and shorts, and I'm gonna go see if the pool's open. Like, I feel like it is. I haven't seen anything about it being closed, so we'll see. I just want to sit outside, and that's like the best area to be sitting outside. So let's see if I can enjoy this warm weather. I am so thirsty. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's 6 o'clock. Like, first of all, this needs to focus. Hi. It's 6 o'clock. Obviously, I am back from the pool and being outside. And I finished this book. I don't even think I gave you guys a little update this morning on it. You guys saw me start it yesterday, and I only read like 55 pages yesterday, I think, so there wasn't going to be a whole lot to update on in general, but yesterday was really just getting your like bearings in the story. You're getting introduced to a few characters. I think primarily you just have 3 POVs throughout this. You have our main characters, Callan. She is a baker in this like small village in the Shallow Kingdom. Goodness. And then you have Jax, who is a blacksmith, I think is what he's called. And I'm skimming over stuff. Okay, maybe it says it here, but the words are too small. But he does like metalwork and things like that. And basically Cal's age, like they're best friends like since childhood. So they live just down the street from each other, same small village. And then you have Tycho, which is a character from the Cursebreaker trilogy. So remember, like I totally freaked out, didn't realize that we were getting thrown back into Ember Falls and Still Shallow from that Cursebreaker trilogy. And I was a bit nervous starting this because I couldn't tell if I was going to get like POVs from main characters in that, but really no, it was just one character from here, and the others are mentioned. But I will say, because you guys know, like I was like, well, I'm kind of conflicted on like how I feel about how characters develop their relationships in the first trilogy. So I was like, I don't know if I would like this if I kind of had that thrown in my face so much. I didn't. Like, that really like wasn't a thought in my head because of how those characters in the Cursebreaker trilogy were included in here. It was not a forefront. And I do like how Brigid Kemmerer like kind of summarized some key things that happened in that trilogy. So, you know, I would definitely recommend reading that trilogy first, because otherwise like certain things would be spoiled here for you. A lot would be spoiled here for you. And so it's exactly in the sense, I guess, of like Caraval trilogy and then Once Upon a Broken Heart, where it's like you definitely benefit and things will be spoiled from you if you just jump into Once Upon a Broken Heart. But ultimately, you could read them reverse and like you just be like, okay, I would just like to actually see the like the backstory, so to speak, unfold now that I kind of know how things ended up starting this. Does that make sense? I feel like that does. This book, because I went into the mindset of how I felt like with books 2 and 3 of the Cursebreaker, like once I kind of hit that different mindset of like, you know, this is not a like romance fantasy. It's like, it's a fantasy story with like kind of some subplots of romance thrown in there. I went into that mindset halfway through the Cursebreaker trilogy. I went into that mindset here, and that allowed me, I feel like, to just like love this book. I'm giving this 4.25 stars. I enjoyed it more than the Cursebreaker trilogy in ways. That's really hard because like there's some of those characters that I really love, but because of my distaste on certain endings, I'm like, But I really enjoyed this. Like, this was just such a fun story. And her writing, I love her writing. I love her storytelling. Like, this is just a good story. And it's book 1. So I need to figure out when the heck the next book is coming out. But this is so good. This is so good. Why isn't this being talked about? Like, I mean, I don't know. But I was gonna say, like, there's just so much out right now. But it's hard. But I just haven't heard anyone talk about this. And I'm like, no, why aren't we? So please read this. Please add this. If you have already read the Cursebreaker trilogy, please read this. And if you haven't, obviously read that first. Like, that's my suggestion. My suggestion is to read that first. Just really immerse yourself into that world. But yeah, I loved how it's like years, like I say years, it's only like 4 or 5 years after the Cursebreaker trilogy kind of ended. And that ending, you see elements of uncertainty in things, and you can just like, I got answers in here. I got answers in here of how certain things like didn't tie up for me in that end of the trilogy. And then it makes sense how this progresses a few years later. So a 5-minute clip for me to tell you I like the book. You should read it. This book was 542 pages. I read like, I think it's 488 pages today. That is nuts to me. Okay. Oh my god, work messages. I'll see you guys when I see you. Okay, it's a little bit later. I went ahead and ate some food. I also made some of the cookies that I showed you guys I got from Target today. So good. And then now I want to start my next read, which I realize is actually going to be for one of like the second videos that I'm going to be filming, which I'm excited about. I definitely didn't plan on filming this one now, nor did I plan on starting to film for it at 8 p.m. No idea what's happening here. I love being a mood reader. I was really stuck between 2 books that I realized I wanted to be a part of a video, so I was like, okay, I guess we're starting that tonight. Love that for me. Something I was trying to figure out is if you guys watch Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, 1, if you're not, what are you doing? But 2, she often films her weekly reading vlogs, and then she'll film a second video. And oftentimes that second video will be filmed like alongside her weekly reading vlog. And depending on what it is, you'll get like more information by watching the weekly reading vlog, because you're getting like all the behind the scenes of it. And so sometimes she like divulges a lot more of her thoughts and opinions as she's reading it. And then that like second video that she's filming kind of is more on whatever the like purpose of that is. Like, for example, if it's like reading 200 pages for a day or swapping screen time with reading for a week, like she'll focus on that challenge part of it and not discuss so much of like her thoughts and opinions on the book that she's reading. And she saves that for the weekly reading vlog. And I kind of like that. So I just want to figure out with this video type, does it make sense to kind of do that? Because I'll be filming my weekly reading vlog too. Or do I want to just put all of that into that second video? I just don't know. So I'm going to figure that out. So I wanted to go ahead and end this weekly reading vlog here on Saturday night. And then I'll start the new one either tomorrow or Monday. We'll see. So with that, I feel like it was a very good reading week and a very just chill week overall as I kind of get back into an established routine. I feel like I'm always saying that. I'll get into something and then like I have work travel, I leave for a month, I have family visiting. I have nothing coming up that I'm aware of. And I love that for me. So thank God I say that. Work's going to tell me tomorrow, hey, you're going back to Denver. I'm waiting for that now. Wow. Should go knock on some wood somewhere. But I'm excited to get back into a routine. I feel like I read so much and I'm definitely in a reading mood right now. So I'm just very like happy of the start of the year. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.